Hello, everyone. My name is Gianni Siebold, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a vital tool in the fight of one of the most persistent global health challenges of the last couple decades, HIV and AIDS. Specifically, I'll be talking about pre-exposure prophylaxis, or PrEP, and how it's helping us prevent the spread of HIV and AIDS globally and in our local communities. So first off, what exactly is HIV and AIDS? HIV stands for the human immunodeficiency virus. It targets our immune system, especially white blood cells, also known as T cells. These cells are essential for fighting off infections and fighting off disease. People with HIV may experience flu-like symptoms such as fever, fatigue, or diarrhea, or more serious conditions like shingles and ovarian cancer in women as the virus progresses. HIV's primary transmission modes are through unprotected sex and the exchange of blood. And as of now, there is currently no known cure, although there are multiple treatment options available when the virus is caught early on. If left untreated, HIV later progresses to AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, where the immune system becomes severely compromised. We'll talk a little bit about that later. Now let's talk about how HIV actually functions within the body. HIV is what's known as a retrovirus. It actually inserts its own RNA into host T cells and rewrites their DNA, basically turning the body's own immune systems into uh, more or less copies of its own cells, essentially copies of the HIV virus. Specifically, it targets CD4 T cells, which actually play a critical role in defending the body against infection and other diseases. Over time, this virus kills off a lot of these T cells and compromises the immune system, and to the point where it can no longer function uh, as well as a healthy individual. So, what is AIDS? A person is officially diagnosed with AIDS when their white blood cell counts drop below 200 cells per milliliter of blood. For reference, a normal healthy individual will have between 4,000 to 11,000 white blood cells per milliliter of blood. When an individual is between 200 and 4,000 uh, white blood cells per milliliter of blood, they are still considered as having HIV. At this stage, individuals are extremely susceptible to infections and other cancers. Um, but as stated before, this can be prevented with early treatment when an individual still has HIV. This is where PrEP comes in. PrEP stands for pre-exposure prophylaxis. It's usually administered as a once daily pill taken by uh, HIV negative individuals that help prevent infections, even if they're exposed to the virus. In the PROUD study conducted in the UK, they found a 92% effectiveness against HIV with only a 70% drug adherence. It provides a significant protection against HIV. This treatment has the potential to be life-changing, especially for communities at higher risks, which I will get into. Uh, Now, how can PrEP actually be effective? It's important to note, actually, that PrEP's effectiveness is directly tied to how regularly it's taken. If someone takes it daily, their chances of contracting HIV are drastically reduced. But if adherence drops below 70%, as shown with a study from the US, its effectiveness can fall to just 44%. This means that awareness and education on how to take this drug are key. Uh, People need to understand and know what PrEP is, how to access it, and more importantly, the effects of taking it inconsistently. Now, there are some harms of PrEP itself. Some individuals can feel certain mild side effects, such as nausea and fatigue, when just starting out on the drug. However, some studies suggest long-term PrEP usage should be harmful, uh, such as reduced bone density, liver damage, and kidney abnormalities. However, these more extreme side effects are seen in studies that last between 5 to 10 years of taking the drug consistently. Now, this eventually leads us to uh, a very important point, which is the impact of HIV on marginalized communities. For example, men who have sex with men are 11 times more likely to contract HIV. Gay African Americans, in particular, account for about 37% of new HIV infections every year in the US. People who inject drugs are also at high risk, being 7 times more likely to contract the virus. On a more global scale, the majority of HIV transmissions, about 85% actually, occur through heterosexual intercourse. Even though PrEP awareness being exceptionally high in gay male populations, only about a quarter have actually taken this medication. This all points to a huge gap between knowledge and action, one that can be addressed with better outreach and accessibility. Within our local area, being in the Bay Area, about 6.2 of Bay Area individuals self-identify themselves as queer. That's around 267,000 people, the highest concentration in the United States. Currently, around 15,500 people in San Francisco, for example, are living with HIV. This is a public health issue that's only about an hour away. On a global scale, approximately 630,000 people pass away from HIV AIDS every year, with sub-Saharan Africa accounting for about 60% of those deaths. These numbers show the dire and urgent need for both local and global actions to be taken against the spread of HIV/AIDS. To recap, HIV is a sexually transmitted disease that attacks the immune system and can develop into AIDS if left untreated. PrEP is a daily medication that can reduce the risk of infection, but only if taken consistently. While side effects do exist, they are often manageable, and the benefits for at-risk individuals are immense and can outweigh the side effects of PrEP. Marginalized communities require greater awareness, accessibility, and education about PrEP usage. Whether we're talking about the Bay Area or the global stage, HIV infections are on the rise, but this is a battle that we can actually win, but only if we use all of the tools that we have readily available to us. All right, this is my Works Cited page. Thank you very much for your time. I hope this presentation has helped you better understand not just what HIV and AIDS are, but how powerful prevention tools like PrEP can be effective to stop and slow the spread of HIV and AIDS within our local and global communities as a whole. Thank you very much.